if my calendar is full, if my caseload is full, I can't take on any more cases because I need to make sure I'm not running up to the edge of deadlines. I need to make sure I'm not getting behind in the work because you always have to have a buffer for things like that occur. And so when you see in particular, and it's on both sides, it's on the military side and the civilian defense counsel side. On the military side, they have no choice because they're getting loaded with cases. They can't say no to cases. And so if you're at a really busy jurisdiction, Korea is a great example. You only have a couple of defense counsel out there. Korea is a very, very busy jurisdiction in the Army, at least. And so cases come in, they come in at whatever rate they come in, and you can't say no to them. So if you are a military defense counsel and you get sick or get under, you've got some backup, but you can be very overworked and very overwhelmed very, very quickly. And I was there when I was in the military and I was running the offices in Korea. It's exceptionally busy. And for whatever reason, that particular office always seems to be undermanned. I don't know why it is, but it's almost always seems to be undermanned. It's really important that they can have too many cases. But on the civilian counsel side, sometimes you see these civilian counsel, they come out and they're trying to start a new business or whatever it is, or maybe they've got these absurdly low fees and they have to take 10 times more cases to pay the overhead than they should be taking, and they're swamped beyond belief. And so if you're calling around and you're considering different civilian counsel, and one civilian counsel is charging 10 times less or 5 times less or half the cost of other counsel, there's a reason for that. They're trading their time for money. They probably have to take 10 times as many cases. And so oftentimes you're no better off with that attorney than you would be with trial defense. And sometimes you're worse off because they're often as an inexperienced counsel. They have more clients and they're trying to keep their head above water financially with their law firm. That's something the military counsel don't have to worry about. So it is really important to keep your caseload manageable. And on the civilian side, you do that. The easy way to do that is just with fees. Just charge the appropriate cost for these cases based on the hours that it's going to take, and then you're fine. It's when you have these newer or civilian counsel would charge basically nothing, and then clients wonder, why don't they return my call? Why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they file any motions? Because they had 80 other clients, and the military counsel has 20. So you went from a position where the military counsel has 20, you hired a civilian counsel for pennies on the dollar, they have 80, and you're worse off. Happens all the time. So that's the easiest way to control that. It's just charge appropriate fees. And so when clients wonder, well, why is a case X amount of dollars? Well, it's as simple as this is what I believe the amount of hours that are likely going to go into this and plus the complexity of the case, plus my experience level, all these factors are there. So a 3 or 4 victim sexual assault or an attempted murder is typically going to be a lot more of a fee than an Article 15 is going to be. And if you're under investigation, that fee is going to be less than if you're charged at a criminal trial. That's obvious, but you don't see that across the board when you're seeing what other attorneys are charging. So really, it's a beware, kind of message that if you're shopping across attorneys and you're looking at very low fees, well, it's probably what you're going to get. If you're car shopping and you have some really, really discount cars and you wonder why the car didn't last because you paid $1,200 for a car and you wonder why it didn't get you very far or broke down on the side of the road or just a pile of trash. Well, that's probably why. Or at least we'll call that a leading indicator. If you want to reach out to me and do a consultation and take this to the next level, give me a call at 813-669-3500 or reach out to us on our website, www.bileckilawgroup.com.